These are the narrated notes for Chapter 2, Section 2.1. I'm referring to these as Part 1A for Chapter 2, and this narration covers character strings, concatenation, the print versus the print line method, and the escape sequences used by Java. Character strings are strings enclosed in double quotes. We often refer to these as string literals. In Java, every character string is an object defined by the string class. So whenever we use string literals, we're actually creating an object of type string. The print line method, as we saw in Chapter 1 and looked at in the Lincoln program, used the system.out object with the method name println, and the parameters we pass get displayed to the screen. In Java programming, all input and output is done as strings. So whenever we want to put something to the output stream and show it on the monitor, it must be done as a type of string. We'll see how that's done in just a minute when we're dealing with numbers. The print method works different from the print line method in that it does not advance you to the next line. So when you want to print multiple things on the same line, you use a series of print methods. Let's take a look at a programming example from your textbook. Here is a copy of listing 2.1 found on page 35 and 36. This is class countdown, which prints 3, 2, 1, 0, liftoff, all on one line, followed by Houston, we have a problem. In this example, we see 4 print statements. The first one with character string 3, followed by 2, then 1, then 0. The fifth statement is a print line that says liftoff. Because the 4 print statements are not print lines, we see that 3, 2, 1, 0, liftoff are all displayed on the same line. And then, Houston, we have a problem. The second print line statement goes on its own line. This demonstrates the difference between prints and print lines. When we want to have multiple things on a single line of output, we use the print statements. String concatenation is a way of appending one string to another, and we do this with the plus operator. In Java, if we have a long string, we need to break it into 2 separate strings and then reattach them using the plus sign. It's also possible to append a number to a string with the plus, which we'll see in a minute. Again, remember, even when we append a number to a string, behind the scenes, Java converts the number to an actual string before it gets displayed. One of the nice features of NetBeans is that when we are typing a long string, we can just go ahead and type that long string, hit the Enter key, and NetBeans will automatically format the string with the extra set of quotes and the plus sign. Here is a copy of listing 2.2 from your textbook, page 37. We have several print line statements here. The first one demonstrates a long string that is cut across 2 lines of code. Again, note the extra set of quotes are required with the plus sign to reattach this long string. Also notice it's really good practice to remember to put an extra blank before the end of the first quote or in front of the second quote so that the 2 words your and extracurricular have a space between them. The next line is a system out print line without any content. This will automatically advance to the next line. Now another way we can do this that we learned in C++ is with the \n, which would also force a new line. The third example shows the appending of a number to the string dialing code for Antarctica. Again, note the extra blank before the closing brace of the dialing code for Antarctica string. This keeps the 672 from being smacked up against the colon. The last system out print line that we can have multiple concatenations. The first concatenation is the number 40 to the string speed of ketchup, and that's followed by the string kilometers per year. In that last line, both of the pluses are string concatenation. Let's talk a little more about how that plus operator works in Java. Now, we do know that we can use a plus to do arithmetic as well. And now we see that the plus could also have strings appended to one another. So how does Java know which thing to do? Add or append? It depends on the context within which it finds the plus operator. If we're working with two numbers, then we will add them together. If we're working with a string and a number, then it will do the concatenation. Remember that the plus operator is evaluated left to right, but we can force the order of operations by using parentheses. So let's take a look at these two different styles in the next slide. Here is listing 2.3 from page 39. This is an important example because it shows us the difference when we're using numbers between using a plus operator for addition versus using the plus operator for string appending or concatenation. The first system out print line shows the concatenation. 24 and 45 concatenated, is 2445. Now let's examine that closely. We do see two numbers there, and we do see a plus between them. But remember that when we're doing the expression, it works left to right. So the first thing we encounter is the string, 24 and 45 concatenated. Then the plus sign appends the 24 to the string, working left to right. Once that has been appended, now we have a bigger string that reads 24 and 45 concatenated, 24. The plus sign, 45, then appends that number to the string as well. And so the output, may be a little surprising, is absolutely just string concatenation because we're working left to right with the plus operators. In the second line, we see that 24 plus 45 are enclosed in parentheses. And because of that, this will be the first operation done. And so 24 plus 45 will be added together to get the value 69. Then that value will be used in the print line statement. And so now 24 and 45 added, string concatenation, the result of adding 24 and 45, 69. Look at these two carefully and be sure you understand the difference. If you have any questions, please post them to the Week 2 optional forum. Our last topic are the escape sequences. Escape sequences are necessary for when we want to do something in terms of printing, but can't represent it directly in terms of characters. So escape sequences that you've used before include the \n to advance to a new line, or perhaps \t to force a tab in the string of output. Another character that requires an escape sequence or a \/ in front of it if we want to print it is the double quote. Why? Well, the double quotes have special meaning. And in that first system out print line we see, quote, I said, quote, right there when we get to that first red quote, Java thinks we're finished with our string literal I said. But in actuality, what we wanted to do was to be able to print actual quotes on the screen. But because they have special meaning to Java, it doesn't understand that that's not the end of the I said string. So how do we get around this? Well, the way we manage this is by using the escape sequence \. If we put the \/ in front of the double quotes, Java then knows that we literally want to print out those double quotes. And so the proper way to put quotes around hello is to insert a \/ in front of the first set of double quotes before hello and in front of the second double quotes behind the O. So that second system out print line shows us how to print out double quotes in the output stream. If you have any questions, please post them to the Week 2 optional forum. Here is a list of some of Java's escape sequences. If you want to print a \, you need to use 2 of them. And this is a commonly used technique when we're using file I/O to distinguish between folder separation versus actual \. The \B will give us a backspace, and another interesting one is the \A, which will make a little beep sound from your computer, \A being for alert. This concludes section 2.1 from your text. If you have any further questions, please post them to the forum.